Hey everybody, it's Iceman. I'm down here at the ice facility, and I got here just in time. I see Tommy was a little bit outnumbered, so I thought I'd come down here and talk to him, and sure enough, there's 4 people that have just showed up, including our friend Mayspace. So let's get out of the car and see what we got going on here, huh? Here we go. This will be interesting. I didn't plan on coming out tonight, but I saw Tommy was a little bit outnumbered, so that I thought I would. We'll try to keep the peace tonight. See how everything's going. See what's going on here. We're at the corner of Bond and Bancroft, and there's a pretty good crowd down at the ice building. Tommy was almost outnumbered here with there's 5 people here lurking, so we thought we'd come down here and give him a little bit of backup here. A little bit of backup. We want to watch our car here because they're lurking around the corner.
Yeah, you'll love it once you get used to it. What up, Ice?
Hey, dude. Thought I'd come down and even out the odds a little bit. Yeah. Just in time, right? You got a little gang showing up here. A little group of 5 here. The gang of 5. So there's Ned Flanders.
Have you got your car back?
Does this mean conservatives are stupid? Does this mean conservatives are evil?
Yeah, they're starting to show up here. So we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's officially a gang. So we're going to just kind of lay back in the things here and see what's going on, see what we can do, see if we can lend any assistance, lend any backup, and see how everything's going. So Tommy's talking to Ned Flanders. He just got having a debate with somebody about policy, and I thought I would bring my let me see here. I brought my other phone down here so I could do a little fact checking. Let me see if it comes up here. We got to turn it on. So a couple of questions came up which I wanted to lend some facts to. So, but now that we got Mayspace around the corner, it's always an unknown. There's always an unknown. You never know what's going on with Mayspace, right? So here we are having the same old tired debates with the same old tired people. I came down to see if I can get a copy of my Krusty Chris stickers. Hello, chat. 5 lurking around corner from Tommy. We've seen this kind of action. Glad you're there. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought it was starting to, the numbers were starting to add up. First there was 1, then there was 2, then there was 4. Now there's 5. And we always like to watch out for the swarming, right? We all know what happens. First they swarm, then they circle, then they attack. So at least there's 2 of us. And I don't know what Iceman could do. I still got my cast on, so I'm one-armed, but hell, I can take care of 5 queefers with one hand, I think. Not too ill for that. I saw earlier Tommy got eggs, so I wanted to see what was going on with that, and we always got our defense mechanisms here if we need to. So we see what we're going to do. Let's see.
The trans agenda, the war on Christmas, this means progressives.
Oh, it's stronger than Adderall.
Did President Obama give Tom Homan a medal?
She got her own. She got her own. That's what you were about to say. You said I think she got her own, bro. I believe it.
So I thought I'd do a little fact checking on what you guys were talking about earlier. Did you know that President Barack Obama awarded Tom Homan something called the Presidential Rank Award as a Distinguished Executive in 2015? The Homan received the Distinguished Rank Award, which is the highest civilian service award in the United States, given to top career leaders for outstanding results. He was recognized for his leadership during the Obama administration in the Executive Associate Director, or as the Executive Associate Director of Enforcement and Removal Operations at U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So he was doing essentially the same role with President Obama as he is with President Trump. Why do you think people weren't out here protesting President Obama when Obama was president like they're doing with President Trump?
I would say it's because ICE agents and DHS have kind of radicalized over the last 10 years.
Right. So when President Trump was running for office, first he was running against Joe Biden, and I think most people would agree he eviscerated Joe Biden in the debate. So Joe Biden withdrew from running for president, and instead of having a normal primary process, the Democrats appointed Kamala Harris to replace him without giving anybody like, let's say, Bernie Sanders or Gavin Newsom or anybody else an opportunity to run for president. So Kamala Harris lost. President Trump was consistent throughout the campaign, saying that when he was elected president, he would conduct the largest deportation campaign in American history, and the American public, largely by majority, voted to put him into office. So don't you think that there is some credence for what he's doing now based on what he did? I mean, he's not changing, he's not making any different claims, he's not going back on his promises, he's just following through with what he told people he would do.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, there's the administration, some of the policies, you have a right to, like, that administration has a right to follow up on that stuff. Unfortunately, it's been so unpopular that a lot of the people that had supported Trump have voted his immigration policies, they're in the tank right now. Even for
so let me draw that to another conclusion. So that's at the federal level, but we live in the state of Oregon, right?
Yeah.
And there was just a recent poll done with, so Democrats, you would agree that the Democratic policies in the state of Oregon, from our governor to our attorney general to our senators to all but one of our congressional representatives, are exactly the opposite of President Trump. They do everything they can to oppose President Trump. And yet there was an opinion poll that was recently put out that said that 73% of Oregonians think the state is going in the wrong direction. So actually the Democrats' polls, which are actually enacting the types of policies that you're proposing we enact nationwide, have been a complete failure at the state level. So I can understand everybody's viewpoint hypothetically, but when it comes to pragmatic results and pragmatic politics and what's good for the majority of Americans, isn't it worth noting that the Democratic policies in the state of Oregon have been a total failure for business, for housing, for drugs, for education? I mean, almost every single metric that we put on our political system is a complete failure in the state of Oregon. So if we,
that's one data point out of 50. Yeah.
73% of the citizens. You want me to get the statistics out? I mean, I can show you the statistic. It was recently shown by the Chamber of Commerce that Oregon's in a recession as well. The city of Portland. So we're in what people will call a doom loop.
Show me that 70.
Okay, I will. Oh.
How you doing there, Sean?
You know, there's a lot of people who really care for you, and they really do think that you are a beautiful young lady, although maybe a little bit misguided. And I just want to let you know that there's a lot of people who want to help you. You know, sometimes it's a company you keep. Ned's a pervert, but you know, you're a young lady. And I just want to let you know that there are people that care about you. We had a lady in Tennessee who actually, seriously, she said she would give anybody who got you to connect with her and you $100 just to talk to her. And I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm just saying that that's how much people care about you, and that's how much, even though we might not agree politically, I just want to let you know that there are a lot of people who care about you.
Banned. You know, I'll pull up my other Twitter.
Do they?
You can send her to me.
Really?
I call you daddy?
All over.
Is that why Democrats
Yeah, it's just when I see you, you're younger than my daughter is, and I think that I think that you have a great deal of potential in your life, and I'd like to see you realize that. And sometimes, including myself, people make bad decisions and hang out with bad people throughout their lives, and it can really affect them. So I'm just saying that.
I mean,
I don't have anything against you. I mean, you and I have never had it. I think you do too. I think you got a great sense of humor. I think you're very intelligent. I think you're obviously, without being creepy or weird, smart, you know, you're an attractive young lady, but you don't need to hang out with people that bring you down. And, you know, there's an old saying, I think you probably don't agree with Warren Buffett, but he said you should always hang out with people who are higher than you or better than you so that you can improve yourself. And there's a certain amount of intelligence in that. And I just want to let you know that there are many, many people who would be more than willing to just have a talk with you and see what we could do to maybe realign some of your priorities and see if it's something that would interest you. I am sorry. I should have run you. I'm looking up another thing. No. He asked me for a statistic.
This is my new Twitter. My other one just got banned today.
Okay, yeah. I think it's more appropriate to call it. It's Leilani, right?
Yes.
I'm Chris, Krusty Chris, as they call me. Hey, can you guys get me some of those stickers they made? Did you see those? Oh my God! I'll show them to you. I was so happy to get that. I mean, they think that it was an insult, but it's actually, I was very proud to know that people thought about me. Instead of calling me Iceman, though, they call me Krusty Chris, so it was kind of funny. Let me find out this. Oregon approval rating for Tina Kotek. That's good. That's good. It's always good to have a catch line, right?
I remember
the board never won.
I remember the clips of you talking about like not being able to like control your anger and like thinking about hurting people and stuff.
Well, I'm beyond that. I think I've had a second thought, and I've talked to Jordy and some other people about that. I think we can agree to disagree politically and philosophically and still get along as Americans. I mean, I really do. I don't think we need to get violent. I don't think we need to get. No, I didn't. We had a meeting and we got a little close to one another, but we discussed it. You can ask him about it. We discussed it, and I think that we're on good grounds. And since that, no, I'm not banned. But since that time, I've stopped using my megaphone because I don't think it's helpful. So we can adjust our own tactics if they were. And I didn't want to be that person who's antagonizing people. Like I said, I've got my opinion. You know, you guys know that I support the president and I support ICE and I support what's going on. I do that largely for younger people here. You guys are younger people. You said he was 36, and I think you said you're 19. You know, down the road, you guys, this is going to be your country, and you guys are going to be the ones who are going to be running it. So we're here to help you, whether you believe it or not. Let me see here if I can find out the. Let me see here.
Yeah, the fat man in a little coat. Fat man in a little coat.
I was thinking
it's hard to me run both of these at the same time. Recent poll about Oregonians' approval of Tina Kotek.
That coat is like 4 times too small for that guy.
Do you still believe in Santa?
No.
Jesus?
Jesus, yes. Jesus
so.
Do you believe in Jesus?
Jesus is king, yes.
So recently, only 5 U.S. governors are more popular than Oregon Governor Tina Kotek. So out of, 50 states, she's the 6th worst governor in the United States. So that's one thing, and you can see it right here. It's on a number of different sources. Yahoo, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek amongst most unpopular governors. See the ranking. New polling from Morning Consult shows Oregon Tina Governor. These are all, these are just stressful numbers, because what's interesting about the philosophies that I see here is that it's all hypothetical, right? And I've heard it. People want to have open borders. They want to let everybody allowed to be here that wants to be here. But the reality is that we're just not economically able to do that. Do you own a home or do you rent a home?
I would say it's nice talking to you. You're actually bringing.
I'm not doing that like your wife was.
I'm just trying to bring some facts into the discussion, because I think that the facts, as you said earlier, the facts speak for themselves to some extent, but that doesn't mean that people can't oppose the facts. I mean, I agree with you that President Trump is unpopular in many situations, and his policies may be unpopular with many people, but that's geographic as well. That may be unpopular here in Portland, and people support democratic policies, which are being, enforced in Oregon. But look what it's done to our state. I mean, our education is bad, our housing is bad, our drug and crime problems are bad, and they try to make it look like it's good when it's really not good. And it's young people like you that have to pay the price. I mean, I'm an older guy, but if it's going to take 10 or 20 years to turn around the economy, we should start now so that you can have a future. I think the reason a lot of people are upset are the people. And then there's people like this that are basically they're long gone. They just think it's a big joke.
What's the 4th commandment?
I wasn't here to discuss religion with you, Ned.
Damn.
But what's the fourth commandment?
I'm not here to discuss religion. I've had enough discussions with you to know that you have your mind is in the gutter, and I have more hope for these young people than I do for somebody like
right
you.
About everything.
No, I don't think I'm right about everything.
Because
I just think that
religion.
I have my
But
opinion.
you don't even know
You don't even know what my religion is.
Yes, you're Christian nationalist.
What? No, being a nationalist. So let me address
I'm an
that.
American
Let me break it down.
Christian nationalist.
Yeah.
What's the fourth commandment?
I live in the United States.
What's
This
the
is my
fourth
nation. I
commandment?
was born and in here.
I don't know. What is it?
Yeah, you don't know
It's
either.
something about you being out here on a Sunday.
Yeah.
It's Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
What day of the week? Do they call that the Sabbath?
What is the fourth
I'm
commandment?
not Catholic.
You're not Catholic. You're a Christian nationalist, so you don't have
Remember
to
the
listen to
Sabbath
the
day
Ten
to keep it holy.
I mean, wow.
6 days are for labor, while the seventh day is a day
It sounds
of
like I
rest
know
dedicated.
you guys'
I am resting.
religion.
So
I'm just
this
scared
day
of
is
bullshit.
dedicated to
This is
God.
my rest.
So what are we not?
This is
If we believe in our religion, it's dedicated to God.
You're sinning.
It's no. This day is dedicated to God.
You're sinning.
So if there was ever a day to profess my religion, it would be Sunday. No, that's absolutely that's an illogical argument, and you're using circular reasoning by restating your position over and over. It doesn't make it more valid or more logical.
No, it's Sunday.
Right.
And what's the
But I'm
fourth
not gonna jump
commandment?
The fourth commandment says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy,"
Okay. And what are you doing?
according to Exodus 20, section 8. While the seventh day is a day of rest dedicated to God, where no work should be done by anyone.
Oh, Mom.
No work should be done. Do you see me physically laboring? Am I doing my job? No, I'm dedicating it to job. We're out here on the street corner having discussions with people about the future of our country.
And you're posting it
Globalize the
online for
IDF.
money.
Yeah, we're trying to actually.
I don't get money for this. I don't get money for this. No, we're here to see
Isn't
you.
it ironic that you think you know everything? That you're always right about it?
In some cases. Yeah. I just don't know why we have the same discussion over and over and over. Because as I've said before,
Because you
resistance
can't
is
even
futile.
remember the Ten Commandments.
President Trump is still the president, and deportations are going to continue, right? So,
No, they've
so
already
what's
got rid of
changed?
Bovino.
What's changed?
Bovino's back in his little
Right, and
town
as I was saying to
El
this
Centro.
gentleman, President Obama gave a distinguished medal to Holman. See, he doesn't want to hear statistics. People like this are dangerous to young people like you. They really are, because older
you like
people
to know,
who want to poison your future are more dangerous than any position that I could ever have. At least you're down here, you're having calm discussions. I think you're kind of discerning what's right and what's wrong. We may still disagree with one another.
I think we probably agree on
people,
70% of it.
if you got to know this guy a little bit more and what he believes in, I think you'd find that much of it is even more reprehensible than the position that we're talking about here. Now, can it be better? Absolutely.
Well, a lot of this is just must.
And I will say that even some of the conservative Republican candidates for governor for Oregon have taken, because we live in Oregon, right? The federal government's one thing, but we live at the local level. They've even talked about a pathway to citizenship for people who, other than crossing the border illegally, haven't committed any other crimes. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I would capitulate to that to some respect. But the reason I don't agree with it goes to, again, young people like you, because what you don't realize is every time you go to apply for a job, or every time you go to look for a housing opportunity, or every time you put your child into an educational opportunity, they're competing with 10, 20, 30, 40, however many people you want to put on the number that really don't need to be here. And in a state like Oregon, which is a sanctuary state, unlawfully I think, but because of that, we have a disproportionately higher number of those people. So people say, oh, the solution to housing is to build more housing. Well, it's a supply and demand situation, right? The cost of housing is high because the supply is low and the demand is high.
Well, there's also corporations that own thousands of houses.
And that is actually a great point, because that is something that President Trump agrees with Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley, that they need to stop corporate housing. So President Trump is agreeing with you on that position, and I agree with you on that position.
Wow.
And I agree with Merkley, who I systematically oppose in almost every policy except that policy. If you look up Senator Jeff Merkley and housing policy, he's actually advanced, I think it's 2 bills on eliminating corporate ownership of housing. But let me give you another example. President Trump recently approved something called Trump accounts, which every young child are given money from a young age, and that's been added to by many corporations: Bank of America, Chase, Home Depot, Dell. Is it? Right. If you had $1 million put into your account when you were 6 months old and you got to the point of being 18-year-old, you wouldn't have the level of poverty that many children have right now.
Why does that be a Trump account?
Well, okay, so they can change the number of that. Here goes a guy right there who just egged him. So they think that's funny. Sorry. See, this is the kind of thing where we have to see they're going overboard and starting to get physical. So this is where we have to call. This is where we have to call the police on these guys. What? Would you like to have an egg slashed in your head? He's been hit with rocks. He's been hit with eggs. He's been shot at, all because he's out here having discussions with these people. And these friends of yours, or these other people who are here with you in this group, okay, maybe not your friends. I apologize for that.
I've already heard some pretty nasty things from this guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with everything that he has to say, but having somebody throw an egg at him is absolutely ridiculous. These people, this guy on the right here with the black hat, he's a degenerate, and the only reason he's down here right now is because the numbers, there's only a couple of us here. And what happens is they come to us in groups. Usually the group gets bigger and bigger, what we call swarming, and then they circle them, and then they'll attack, right? So what this guy did was they distracted him and they attacked him. And that's absolutely wrong. You talk about fascism, you talk about violence. The violence is on the left, and only because they disagree with his position. Here's a guy who's a block away from the ICE facility, minding his own business, and they all came over to him to have discussions with him, and then this person he just got violently attacked right in front of our eyes.
I would be not happy, but I wouldn't call the police.
What would you do? You just allow it to happen and continue to happen?
I would.
What if it happened to you? Or what if it was your girlfriend or your child or somebody who you cared about? And you just you just take it and go along with it? What if he turned around and punched that person and beat him to the ground? Would he be justified in doing that? I mean, these people literally are egging him on, right? And he's extremely calm because he's sitting here and continuing to espouse his position.
He's been at a very high level of irritated.
You believe in the First Amendment, right? I don't know. Every time we try to have a discussion, it seems like this is what it usually ends up being, is something like this, and it's just sad because.
When I was talking to Tommy,
yeah,
what's your name?
Chris.
What I was trying to talk to him about is, I used to be Republican, I grew up conservative, etc.
Portland Police, non-emergency number. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. So you were saying you grew up as a Republican and
conservative. Yeah.
Okay. Portland. So it gets down to the shouting match. Portland Police, non-emergency number. 823-3333. Sorry, just a minute.
That's an egg on your jacket. That's what adults do. That's what adults do. That's not what adults do.
So now you watch the dynamical change. These guys are supportive of our position, and they're going to come down and have a little bit of a different. They're going to balance out the odds a little bit, and there's no need for it because we can sit here calmly discussing, but here they escalate it to violence. I'm going to take a minute to just to report this case of assault. We have to document it with the proper authorities. You understand?
You'll get another 3 months. That's why you have to stay away. This is why you have to stay on your feet, because you're a violent fucking idiot. You're a violent idiot saying that you're going to harm children.
I'm going to make sure for throwing an egg at me. I'm going to make sure for throwing an egg at me.
If you think that will be worth it, not being able to come back here. Will that be worth it?
Like they are genuinely, like they have enlarged the
They just threw an egg at me and you're justifying it, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Violent leftists throwing eggs and it's perfectly okay, right? Yeah.
You got hit with an egg.
You got an egg on your jacket and you're going to mace a child over it.
She's not a child.
She is a child. She is legally a child, and if you do that shit...
I want to report an assault in South Waterfront on the corner of Bancroft and Bond. A friend of mine was just assaulted by a group of people. They were still harassing him, and they hit him with an egg. And my phone number is...
Violet's gonna get violent.
Violet? Oh my god, they're so far off. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's Violet. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. How do you know?
approximately 5 minutes ago. One of the persons, there were 5 people here. One of them assaulted him with an egg and then immediately ran down towards the ice facility. So they assaulted him, they threw it at him and hit him in the upper body on the coat, and then they ran away. He doesn't appear to be hurt because he has a heavy jacket on. But the same individual was also shot. They ran west immediately after the assault incident, and we may have it on video, although I'm not sure.
Learn your news from Whoopi Goldberg.
Have you even looked at the Epstein file release?
They were a Caucasian person.
Yeah, where's Trump indicated in any kind of
male, male, white, Caucasian, approximately 20 to 25.
I know it's more than that, but that's how many I was.
Oh my God.
He had a black jacket and a white
If he's
hat.
indicated and for sure guilty, why isn't he in jail?
What, pardon me?
Wow, that's
I wasn't able to notice what color. Tommy, what color pants did he have? What color pants did that person have? We didn't know. We weren't able to observe that, but we're going to try to pull up the video on the incident. Not to my knowledge, other than the egg.
What she looked like.
Chris, C-H-R-I-S. Christensen, C-H-R-I-S-T-E-N-S-E-N.
You think she's ever going to come eye to eye with you again? No, you're funny. They're not going to find her. We gotta go.
You can give me contact from the officer, and I'll put you in touch with the affected person.
No,
Chris
they don't care about guns being pulled on us. They're not going to care about an egg.
No. The person who was assaulted, his name is Thomas Allen. He's well known in the city of Portland, but he was assaulted once again. Two weeks ago, he was assaulted with a rock. Last week, he was shot at with a BB gun. This week, it's eggs, and it's just the same behavior by the same group. Yeah, it will be. Yes. No, I'll be at the corner of Bond and Bancroft. If you could dispatch the car, that'd be great. Okay. Okay, understood. I appreciate your help. Thank you.
No matter how much it hurts, bro, it's assault. It's assault. Look at my jacket. It's assault, you fucking idiot.
Oh no, my jacket.
You don't know what a man is. Define what a man is, bro.
Let me see the jacket. Let me see your jacket. Let me see your jacket.
Define what a woman is. Yeah, you can't. You guys can't even make up definitions. You guys are fucking retarded. Absolutely idiots, bro.
What kind of parent would let their child?
How you doing, not Tina?
Thought
Thought I'd come down here and balance out the odds a little bit.
Sticker,
Yeah.
Nico's got one down there.
Oh, good. Is she down there right now?
No, this is Nico's sticker.
Oh, I know. Yes, there's 4 of us as far as I know. You're next probably, so it's a badge of honor. But I haven't seen the actual sticker. Yeah. Let me film that.
I gotta go wash it.
Hey, do you have that sticker you got last night?
You know who has it is Jesse.
Okay.
Jesse
Oh yeah,
X.
that's what she said. Okay, gotcha.
Someone do it for you or what? Got a bum ass.
They make them on the full printer because
Does she deserve that?
Well, we got
only one.
Fixer. Yeah, I don't know if there's only one, but Fixer is going to do a series on these guys as well. So he's already working on it. He's already done one, and I encourage him to print them. I would as well for our collection. Yeah, absolutely. I'm still trying to find it. I'm glad you guys came back down here though, because I came down here from Beaverton just because the odds were a little bit no good.
Yeah, it's been a very peaceful night.
Have a good night.
It's been very chill.
Yeah.
Loud.
Until this, right? Yeah. Well, these guys are degenerates. So the guy with the beard and the glasses, he's reasonable, although he's got unreasonable positions. MySpace came down here right when I got here to balance things out, and of course, the other guy's just an idiot. He's Ned.
Are you happy?
He's Ned Flanders. I've got my mace, and they might get maced. They might get maced. There we go. Here's Nico.
I like turtles! I like turtles too! Yeah!
See how things escalate? See? It's absolutely unnecessary, but this is very, very common.
42! Alright, now for
They were all in on it.
This guy all thinks, I mean, he thinks it's funny. They think it's funny to a point. It's not funny. And, you know, these guys are showing tremendous restraint. If it were you, I think you'd also feel a little bit threatened. And, no? Somebody hit you with an egg, or, you know, you didn't know a rock, or shot a gun at you, you wouldn't feel threatened? Yeah? Okay, well, that's happened. It just hasn't happened tonight. So that's technically assault under City of Portland. What if we were to pepper spray these people as a countermeasure to their assaulting, to throwing an egg? Would that be reasonable force?
Not an assault.
So
I would say if you threw an egg back at them, that'd be fine.
what if I didn't have an egg but I only had pepper spray?
I would say then you're escalating to a higher level of.
No, I'd be defending myself from a physical attack with a means of staying a physical attack.
But if you threaten to do it later, no. It doesn't
Oh,
work.
okay. So you're a lawyer now, Ned?
I think
No,
this guy said he would mace the
brain cells
kid.
popping around every once
Yeah.
in a while. Are you a
Well,
lawyer?
you have no validity to what he has no validity in my mind because he's
you a lawyer?
absolutely. No, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a person out here exercising because you're starting to spew information about laws which I think are actually incorrect.
I said retaliation.
I honestly, I've told you before, I don't care what you said. We've had enough discussions before, but your position is absolutely invalidated. I think you're a disgusting person, and I think you are not even worth me talking to. Just the fact that you happen to be in my space is up to you. You have the right to your First Amendment to freedom of speech. No, I'm not hateful. You disgust me.
You're starting to shake. And you're calling me
I'm not shaking. Not at all. Not at all.
Your fear and
You
your
think this is
anger
funny,
taking over
and
your
what you're doing
mind.
is you're contributing to the downfall of our society in your own little way, and that's just absolutely reprehensible. And you're old enough to know better. I mean, these guys are a little bit younger, but you're old enough to know better. Your point of view, you have in the past, and yeah, you are.
Well, it's not your society.
Yes,
I'm a
it is.
member
It
of
is
it. Yeah, it
our
is.
society.
Yeah, I take ownership of it.
Yep. This is
You're
my
not the
country.
ones that are right because
is my
you have
country.
some book that you think is magic.
Just by smiling and spewing your rhetoric doesn't make you right,
You can't
Ned.
even have a conversation.
This
We
is my country.
call this guy Timu Ned because he
We
looks like
decide
Ned
who
Flanders. We
comes
call him
and who
Timu
goes.
Ned because he looks like Ned Flanders
You realize that,
on
right?
the Simpsons.
decide-
So
yeah,
he's
that's
a
what
long-term
this whole
character here.
Yep, and 80 million Americans voted for mass.
Yeah, I was trying to be careful. They've heard my
Not
situation
even mass
before. I'm
enough.
not
We
too
need
concerned
2
about
or
it.
3 times as many illegals deported
80
every day than what's happening already.
80 million people did not vote for what's going on.
Yes, they did.
No, they
Yes, they
didn't.
did. We all voted for mass
President Trump, as his
deportation.
campaign promise, said he's going to engage in the largest deportation activity in the history of the United States, and that's exactly what he's
Why do
doing.
the majority of Americans think
Yeah,
what he's doing is too far
deportation,
right now.
not military.
It doesn't matter right now because we're not having an election right now. When election comes up, then people can voice their opinion.
But then if what
Legally.
you're saying is true,
Yeah.
it would be soaring right now. The approval ratings. But it's not.
Instead of
Well, it depends on the approval ratings. I don't know what statistics you're talking about. If you're talking about a
People are
CNN
upset that
poll,
we're not deporting
that has
enough
no.
illegals right
Yeah,
now.
I agree with
That's
Tommy.
the thing.
Is we're not doing enough fast
We're
enough.
not doing enough right
And,
now.
and what's sad
We're not
again
deporting
is that
enough.
it's not
We
affecting
need to
my
deport
future as much
like
as it is
4
affecting your
million a
future.
year.
Because the opportunities that are going to be available to you and young people like you
It doesn't
and
matter.
children of yours,
It doesn't
they're the ones that
matter
are
how
going to be
many that-
suffering
it was all
in the
a
future
farce.
of our country
What
if we
did
even
that
have the
accomplish?
future of our country.
What did any
So
of the
I would hope that
notions
people would, I mean, you said at one point you had
What did
conservative
it- how did
values.
it affect
It's not a
what's
lot to ask to have a country that protects its border, that protects its borders. All of the countries in the world protect their borders. If you go to other countries, you go illegally, you go straight to jail. In some cases, you get killed or put in labor camps. So, just because Oregon and the United States are more liberal in their policies, it doesn't mean that we can allow anybody in here that wants to be in here. And as Tommy said, I know the other statistic I was going to look up is how much illegal aliens get. Let me look that one up
Just
here.
because he's getting railroaded at every turn, and you guys are trying to stop him from doing everything
How much
he's doing,
monetary financial support do illegal aliens receive when they're in the United States?
You ask me what has protesting gotten done, and I give you examples.
They didn't do shit. Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
They didn't do nothing.
Okay.
We need 1 million illegals deported every day.
Do you know they can't
And we'd be good quick.
So this says about 48% of illegal immigrant households use food programs such as SNAP. So half the illegal aliens come in here are using federal food programs. It says that the child tax credits is 5 to 13 billion in 2022. And undocumented individuals are also eligible for emergency medical care and state-level assistance, as it is in Oregon. They also, the Department of Homeland Security offered a stipend of 2,600 people for people to voluntarily go back to their own country and come in and apply legally for the system. That's a more than fair.
Look up, I don't know the proper way to phrase this, but look up, do immigrants, or if you want to call them undocumented immigrants, are they a benefit for society or a detriment?
Well, so I heard you make that argument earlier. So that's the same argument that Southern Democrats made prior to the Civil War. I mean, obviously it was economically beneficial to have slaves because you didn't have to pay them, right? So if we're just talking about the economy, do you think that it's beneficial? Do you think we should have kept slavery? Because it was beneficial to the economy, but they did the right thing morally and politically by ending slavery, and the economy eventually adjusted. So the economy will adjust to the country, but if we make all of our decisions based on economic things without considering other values, then no, I don't think that carries any water whatsoever. I mean,
what it does carry, though, is it refutes this guy's point where he's saying there's such a drain on society, when in fact by any monetary, they increase our countries like everything, labor, food, agriculture.
So take that argument to its logical conclusion. So it's always better to have more people, more money, more economy. Do you think that's actually the truth, or do you think that the earth and the country are possibly overpopulated? I mean, when I was your age, there were tens, if not hundreds of millions less people in the United States and in the world. And the world had problems, but it didn't have the same problems that it had now. In fact, in the 70s, and I remember the 70s, there were issues then, and overpopulation was one of the biggest concerns about the future. And what we're actually seeing now, and what most people don't understand because they haven't had the benefit of looking back in time, is that overpopulation in the world, in this state, in this country, in this world, are a huge issue, and they're affecting everything. From, you talked about our climate. Why aren't you, so in Washington County, they're talking about expanding the urban growth boundary in Oregon to be able to allow more data centers to go in. So they're going to take away agriculture. Hey, Katie, how you doing? Why isn't this group opposing the data centers in Washington County that are going up? I mean, see, I agree with you on that. I don't think we should expand the urban growth boundary. I don't think we should take over agricultural land. I don't think we should have greenfield development. I don't think we should have urban sprawl.
Population is in decline across so many countries.
And so that's a good thing, in my opinion. Now, is it going to be tough to manage that economically? Maybe, but will we make adjustments? Absolutely. But overall, if you want to talk about climate change, the best way to, the things that are affecting the climate more than anything, whether you agree with climate change or not, is the population growth. And the expanse and the elimination of agricultural land and forest land, and the increase in developed land. And so when we had the idea of an urban growth boundary in Oregon, it was to develop sustainably within a certain boundary, and that would have been a good thing to do. But they've given up that idea because the Democrats have taken the easy rate out. Greenfield development is one of the biggest problems with urban sprawl, and it's been the big solution that Democrats have come up with. And it's not sustainable. I mean, eventually we won't have any more trees. We won't have any. And you think about, well, farmland, it's just farmland. Where else are we going to build houses? But when you talk about the ecology, you're also talking about natural resources. You're also talking about the animals, right? The deer, the elk, the geese, everything that supports us.
Probably a little bit more overlapping. Have you followed like what happened in the UK and Brexit?
No, but I'm following right now what's happening in the UK with immigration, and I think that it's a bellwether for what could be happening here in the United States. So
you know that basically every economist in the UK said that Brexit was going to harm their country in terms of just basic financials. And as soon as Brexit happened, the amount of immigrants that came into the UK skyrocketed.
See, and I was never one who was in big support of the European Union personally, because I think that, just like I'm saying with the United States, that all countries have unique characteristics within their borders that they should be able to protect.
But when the UK pulled out,
yeah,
they basically put economic sanctions on themselves.
No, they don't.
They got out of that market and didn't have the same ease with which they could do this. But anyways, the point is, immigration surged in the UK, and now they've basically brought it down to nothing. But every economist in the UK says, no, we need immigrants. We need people to build homes. We need people to farm, et cetera, et cetera. Immigrants are...
Well, I think you're exaggerating when you say every economist thinks that way, because I'm sure that there are opposing points of view. But it goes back to what I was saying with the Civil War. Of course, after the Civil War, when they abolished slavery, there had to be adjustments. And it went everything through the Jim Crow era to the Equal Rights era and all the other things that we've seen develop. A country develops as it grows, but a country is choking itself off by opening its borders because it's no longer a country. It no longer has sovereign rights. It no longer has cultural values that people can agree with. And
which state has been overrun with illegals or immigrants?
California, one.
The largest economy.
You know, California has 40 million, a population of 40 million. That's equal to the population of the entire country of Canada. 40 million people.
California, I think, if you just like had it its own country, it's like the 5th largest GDP in the world. So immigrants are kicking ass for California.
It also has, though economically, if you look at the economic measurement, it also has some of the biggest social problems and social welfare problems in the world. But it also has tremendous natural resources, and it's got an extremely